Where is the consumer attention in auto today?
Facebook. Like, Facebook is underpriced attention. Listen, our attention's everywhere, but here's the problem. When people talk to me, I mean, what are you gonna spend your money on, right? It's just practical. Like, what are you gonna spend it on? You can spend it on Google ads, right? You can spend it on banner and digital stuff, right? You can spend it on TV, you can spend it on radio, you can spend it on direct mail, you can spend it on outdoor. Like, what are we gonna spend our money on to sell our thing? The attention's everywhere to some degree, but does anybody think that more people are looking at outdoor today than a decade ago, now that every passenger in every car looks at their cell phone while they're driving? It can't be as valuable. It just can't. It's not common sense, right? How many people have been on email for 15 plus years? Raise your hand. Do you look at every email as carefully as you did 15 years ago? Of course not. My friends, let me promise you one thing. There's one thing I know more than the sun will come up tomorrow. Marketers ruin everything. It's what I do. The second I saw Snapchat come out, I'm like, okay, how am I gonna fuck up this ghost? Like, how am I gonna sell shit, right? Like I'm trying to ruin Facebook. Here's why Zucks is such a beast. Mark knows that attention is his only asset. So the reason the ads on Facebook are gonna get very expensive is he runs better and more math than any company in the world to know how many ads you're willing to see before you quit and never go back to Facebook, and he's gonna give you one less, and he'll fill you with as much as possible, which is only so many, because you gotta see your friends' pictures and your sports thing and your fake news and whatever the hell you need to see, right? You have to understand that's gonna get expensive. And wait till Toyota and Honda and Lexus and Nissan as corporate starts trying to get in there as well. There's only one feed. And wait till Coca-Cola. Macy's just closed all those stores. You guys heard that, Macy's stores? What you don't know is they closed all those stores to use all that money for Facebook ads. So now all of a sudden you have $80 million more of Macy's ads competing with you, and you haven't even started. It's gonna be bad for small businesses. It's gonna be where everybody's paying attention, and it's gonna price us out. So I'm trying to get you there now, so that you get the value now, you learn from it, and then you, in 3 years, when you're priced out, can start going on Snapchat or whatever's new and replicate the wheel, because it's always cat and mouse. And so the attention's everywhere. But no, I don't think you should be giving Van Wagner or Viacom billboard money. I think you should take that $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, or $6,000 and spend it on pictures and videos and getting into news feeds on Facebook. And I think you should be giving it to attractive people that live in your neighborhood on Instagram to come by your dealership and take a picture on the top of the hood of a fucking car and get people to show up. You can pay an influencer $1,000 appearance fee who, like in the Atlanta market, Julio Jones on his best day, Matt Ryan and Julio Jones on their best day couldn't have more people show up than an Instagram influencer. I promise. I'll tell you a great story. I'm driving to a meeting, I'm with a business partner. There's this 3-block line in Manhattan at Sephora, and it's pouring. I'm on a call, I look at him, he's my partner in a company called Resi, which is almost like an open table competitor, so he's not my world. I look at him, I go, I'm on a call, I go, YouTube. So I'm just still on my phone. I get done. He goes, I'm finishing up. He goes, what you saying? I said, YouTube. I said, Twitter it. See what's going on, to see what was happening there. I get off the call. He goes, how'd you know? I go, and so what I was telling him was the person at Sephora was a YouTube star. And he goes, how'd you know that it was a YouTube star at Sephora with that ridiculous line and then the pouring rain? And I said to him, because a real celebrity couldn't have that long of a line. The world's changed. You might get 80 calls from Facebook, you might get 130 phone calls from the radio, but if you sell 1 car from the radio and 7 from Facebook, because the data you targeted were people actually in the goddamn market to buy a car. The reason you guys spend so much money is you're always spending because you never know when the person's in consideration. Facebook has data of people searching to buy cars and you can get in their feed. I mean, what's the matter with people? I'll tell you what's the matter. You don't know that truth that I know. You didn't know that. You didn't know that. You didn't know that Facebook, you think this stuff that came out the other day about the FBI and the CIA, like hacking everything, that, yes. Like just assume everybody's looking at you at all times. Privacy is dead. You are naked. You don't like it? Stop using your phone. Let's see how long you last. So, yes, it's a huge advantage. And so, you know, the metric is selling cars, man. Yep. Like, you know, the reason I want to pay an Instagram influencer who's like a good looking ab dude or a booty chick is because I know 4,000 people will show up to my dealership and 3 of them might buy a car. And I'm willing to make that bet. I have to at least taste it. I want to see what it looks like. How are you not curious?
You touched on the third.
Let me tell you how you do it. You go into Instagram, you search a hashtag, like whatever, you just search. Actually, you search, I'm sorry, you go into Instagram, there's a search bar up top, you search by location. So you put in your zip code, your town. It shows you the 12 most trending pictures within a 1 mile radius of your goddamn town. You then look at all the pictures. I promise you 7 of them are attractive, scantily clad. The other 5 are something else, but you click on them, you see how many followers they have. They're global. It's not like all their followers are from Alpharetta, you know, like they're all over the place, but you click on them and then there's a triple little button in the top right corner. That's how you message people. You click it, you DM the person and you say, I own a car dealership. I'd like to pay you to show up at my car dealership this Saturday from 12 to 4 and you tell your Instagram followers. They'll reply, they'll say how much. You say, I have no idea, some weird guy told me to do this. How much is it? They give you an answer and then you take a risk. You may lose $600. You may crap your pants when they ask you for $50,000 and you realize how real this is. And you keep playing, and then you try, and then you learn. When you're a pioneer, you have to taste it. There's no report, there's no white paper, there's no modeling mixed metrics that are gonna teach you how that's gonna work. When you're the first explorer, you have to taste the berries, and hopefully they're not poisonous. Are you asking how one defines that?
Yeah, I mean,
Can I give you a quick answer so you can go to your next one?
Yeah, absolutely.
You have to produce creative. This is on agencies. Agencies make margin on their creative and aren't looking for efficiencies. They're making it fatter. Agencies need to create more creative, quicker, cheaper, so that we can let it go live in the market, because you and I don't get to decide good creative. The boss that owns the agency, the dealership doesn't, your creative director doesn't, the market does. And if you're relying on one 30-second video of a fucking Jeep going up a fucking hill to like drive your business, you're out of your mind. So the only person that decides good creative is the market. So the game now has to be how much creative can we create efficiently at scale to give the dealership as much at bats to sell product. So, because nobody gets to decide beforehand. Nobody. Not a fancy person that won a Cannes Lion, not what Ad Age said, nobody, the market. Crying about what corporate's doing is fucking loser DNA. Like, what are you gonna go to Japan and talk to Mr. Toyota and convince him? Like crying about shit you can't control is asinine. It's the definition of insanity. And it speaks to people that are just not gonna win at the highest levels. Like, I don't care, every time there's a political presidency thing, like, it's such loser DNA. Like, not Trump, not Barack, not Bernie, not fucking Hillary. No, they're not gonna do anything for you, you idiots. Like, you're in charge. Like, yes, you can pay less taxes, fine, but when you paid more, everybody that looked like you paid that too. Come on. Like, nobody's gonna do this for you. Nobody cares about your feelings. Nobody cares that you grew up in a broken home. Nobody cares that you grew up in a suburb. Nobody cares. You should care and take full control and responsibility. It's the quickest path to victory. So I don't care what corporate's wasting their money on. You got your money, figure it out. Or change dealerships. You don't like fucking Mercedes? Go fucking be an Audi house. I don't give a fuck. But don't cry. Right? Like everybody's crying. Like, if you're sad, switch. But it's really hard, right? Like, Google's amazing. Like, search is great because it's intent-based marketing. I'm looking to buy a car this week. Like, it's incredibly good marketing. When you jump to Facebook, now you're in the art game, right? Google's blue letters and intent. Facebook, you can get in front of better people at scale, but you have to be good at the creative. And that's hard.
So as we're digging into that though, like some of the markets we're in, we could take our average budget and get in front of, if we took $10,000 and put it in our city, we'd be in front of everybody all of the time.
That's
like,
important.
We could own it. But do you end up hurting yourself by kind of flooding it
No.
where everybody just sees
No.
you all the time?
Nope, because they won't. They won't see you all the time. Just because you're in a news feed, they might have been going through it and their kid dropped something and now they just missed you. Like, people's attention is very difficult to catch. There's no such thing as overexposure in our new world. We're not in 3 channels and 6 newspapers anymore. Like, yes, 1 trillion people watched MASH. You know, like, have you seen the numbers on how many people watched MASH or Who Shot JR? Then last episode of Seinfeld, people didn't know. Everybody predicted the biggest. It was a big drop off because the internet was already around. Now, the #1 show on TV is a blip. #1 show on television today. Last year, Empire, or 2 years ago, Empire, as the #1 show would have been canceled in 1984. Attention's tough, my friends. So no such thing as overexposure. You see, you know how I always talk lately, for the guys and gals that know me, like, watch me, don't listen to me? I'm pumping out so much fucking content. You guys love me with all your heart and you can't keep up on your best day. I'm doing that because of what I believe, which is you can't have overexposure. Couple things, right? If we were, like, I've been predicting the crash for like 24 months now. So I'm nobody to predict the crash. I just know that 8 or 9 good economic years in a row has its play, but maybe this is the time that it goes 16 in a row. I don't know. You know, nobody knows if we all did. But here's what I would say. This is why I'm so focused here today. The way you survive, and remember, and I might have mentioned in that episode, both Wine Library and VaynerMedia were built during bad times. Because I'm a practical, you know how I often say I'm not predicting or I'm not a disruptor, I'm practical. Everything I just said, I just want everybody in the room here, whether you agree or disagree with me, whether I'm right, I think I'm gonna play out to be historically correct. I think I'm stunningly practical. You know, people think I'm a disruptor or a futurist or a provocateur. No, I'm practical and you're insane holding on to the past. That's why I've consistently made a lot of money. So what I would say is the only way to survive is when you have to let people go, when you're selling, you know, instead of 59 cars a week, 4, like when that all starts happening, that's when you have to make all these pennies work like never before. That's why what I'm saying now has never been more important. Because if you actually know how to use Instagram, so let's play out Instagram influencers. Just that one story. You know, booty girl and abs guy want 5,000 now. If the world melts, they're getting nothing. And they're making 71,000 a year right now being an influencer, and now they have to go work at Bank of America. They don't want to do that. They liked it when they were taking selfies with tea at their house and living the dream. When you DM them now, you might be able to pay them $100 instead of 5,000. See where I'm going? Just because the market crashes, the stock market, and forces the economy into a whirlwind down, doesn't mean that people are spending any less time looking at Instagram. Got it? That will continue to grow. So now the attention during a down market is gonna be remarkably well priced. Got it? So what you have to do is make sure you actually have the money to do something. The best way to have money is to make more money. Remember that joke I made about 7% and 39%? That's when it rears its head. That's when your stable growth that's equal to every other complacent average player's stable growth doesn't give you an advantage. Got it? So that's why I want people to start doing this, because if they start reaping the benefits, they'll have short-term financial growth. If they're really smart, they'll stash a couple of those pennies, and then they're gonna make those pennies really work when people are looking for money.